We live in an era where everything seems urgent. We're always running, eager to reach goals, to respond, to be productive. There's a constant restlessness that has become part of our being. It's as if our true worth is only recognized when we're doing something, generating results, chasing a future that often hasn't even arrived. But what if there were another way? A lighter, deeper path where nothing needs to be forced to bloom, where trust replaces control, and where peace is not a destination but the starting point. In this script, we will explore profound teachings that invite us to reflect on the silent power of relaxing, living with surrender and full awareness, not as resignation, but as a return to our most authentic center. Our agitated minds often push us to try to shape everything around us, the emotions of others, the outcomes of our choices, the pace of life. We believe that if we don't hold on tightly, everything will slip away. And in truth, sometimes things do slip away, but not due to lack of effort. What slips away simply wasn't meant to be held with force. There is wisdom in letting go of the reins, in observing without trying to control, in moving with ease without the need to force every step. The first lesson guiding us into this state of presence is trust in life. And this trust is not passive. It is not the belief that everything will work out on its own without effort, but an active trust. It walks hand in hand with mindfulness and inner clarity, allowing us to breathe more deeply and soften our bodies, giving the soul the space to rest. The desire to control often arises from fear, the fear that something will go wrong, that life will escape our grasp, that the future is uncertain. But what we call control is rarely real. Control is often an attempt to calm our anxiety, not a genuine action. Life has its own rhythm, and there is a unique beauty in that movement. Imagine a tree that, no matter how much we wish to speed up its growth, will not bloom before its time. We can water it, care for the soil around it, but we cannot rush its cycle. Rushing is like trying to force a flower open with our fingers. We may succeed, but we're destroying its beauty and compromising its process. The second lesson reminds us to honor the timing of things, to trust that what is meant to be will come at the right moment, neither too early nor too late, but exactly when it is needed. This doesn't mean inaction, but conscious action. We must do our part with dedication, and at the same time let go of attachment to the outcome. It is in this letting go that true strength resides. When we stop trying to shape everything around us according to our own image, we create space for the new to enter. This letting go is not a sign of weakness. It is an invitation to trust the process of life. The third Buddhist teaching speaks about lightness in action. Society teaches us to hurry, to do more, to compete. But both Buddhism and other wise traditions remind us that true transformation arises from presence. It's not the amount of effort that defines the value of our journey, but the quality of the intention. Acting with lightness means acting with wisdom. This means we can do things deeply, even in silence. Watering a plant with care, listening to someone with an open heart, cooking while savoring each aroma. When we are fully present in what we do, even the simplest tasks become sacred paths. This lightness goes hand in hand with patience. The fourth teaching teaches us serenity in the face of time. The present doesn't always bring answers. Sometimes it invites us to stop, to breathe, to wait. Patience is not passivity. It is trust in motion. It is knowing that even when nothing seems to be happening, something is being prepared, either inside us or outside, in the invisible. A flower that has not yet bloomed is doing deep work in its roots. Transformation doesn't shout, it whispers, and to hear it we need to be still. This patience is cultivated just like tending a garden, with consistency, with care, with eyes open to what has yet to bloom. Finally, we arrive at one of the most challenging and liberating Buddhist teachings, releasing attachment. Attachment creates weight. We want to keep close what comforts us, even when it no longer serves us. We cling to old ideas, grudges, identities that no longer reflect who we are. And in clinging, we don't realize we are closing the door to the new. Letting go of attachment is not abandonment, it's honoring the cycles of life. It's allowing what needs to go to follow its path, trusting that what is real will remain. What is truly yours will find its way back if it's meant to be. Non-attachment is not coldness, it is freedom. It is opening your hands to receive life as it is, with its surprises, its detours, and its hidden blessings. These 5 Buddhist teachings, trust, respect for time, lightness in action, patience, and the liberation from attachment, are just the beginning of a journey back to oneself. It is a path that invites us to step out of the constant struggle and into a state of presence where life does not need to be forced but felt. Now I'd like to ask, have you ever caught yourself trying to hold on to something with too much force, even though you knew deep down it was time to let go? Have you ever felt afraid to release something, even when your heart knew it was the right moment? Reflect on this as we move into the next block, where we'll explore how nature teaches us to live without haste, how emptiness can be a space of nourishment, and why trusting the flow of life can be one of the most powerful transformations we can experience. As we continue our exploration of inner transformation, it's important to turn to nature as one of the most powerful teachers in the world. Nature doesn't hurry, yet everything it produces is done in perfect timing. From the growth of a tree to the rhythm of the tides, nature follows its own cadence, never rushed, never forcing. And yet, everything happens exactly as it should. We can learn so much from this approach to life. Imagine a seed. It may seem small, insignificant at first, but within it lies everything it needs to become a mighty tree. It doesn't worry about how long it will take to grow, or whether it will ever reach the heights of other trees. It simply does what it is meant to do. It takes root, absorbs sunlight, and grows in its own time. This process doesn't demand attention or validation. It simply happens. The same is true for us. We often compare ourselves to others, worried that we're not progressing as quickly as we should. In this fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the idea of needing to keep up with everyone else. But like the seed, we must learn to trust our own process. Just because we don't see immediate results doesn't mean nothing is happening beneath the surface. Everything takes time, and sometimes the most important growth happens quietly, out of sight, before it bursts forth into the world. One of the most profound teachings we can draw from nature is the power of stillness. In nature, there are moments of complete silence, moments where everything seems to stop. These pauses are not empty. They are filled with potential. The soil resting before it gives birth to new life, the pause before a storm, the stillness before a new season begins. These moments of emptiness are necessary for renewal. In the same way, our lives need moments of stillness. We need to step back to create space for new ideas and energy to enter our lives. But instead, we often fill every moment with noise and busyness. We believe that in the noise, we will find meaning. But in truth, it's in the stillness that we find clarity. There's a Buddhist concept known as emptiness, and it's closely tied to this idea of stillness. Emptiness doesn't mean lack or void. It means space. It's the openness that allows things to be. Without emptiness, nothing can grow, nothing can change. We're often afraid of emptiness, thinking it means something is missing or incomplete. But it's the opposite. Emptiness is the space in which new possibilities emerge. It's where transformation occurs. Think of a canvas untouched, waiting for an artist to bring it to life. Without the emptiness of that canvas, there could be no art. In the same way, without moments of emptiness in our lives, there can be no true transformation. When we try to fill every moment with activity or distractions, we are denying ourselves the opportunity for deep, meaningful change. It's in the quiet moments of reflection, in the spaces between thoughts, where we can access our inner wisdom and creativity. Emptiness invites us to step back and look at life from a different perspective. It helps us see that we don't need to do everything at once, that it's okay to pause and just be. But embracing emptiness doesn't mean giving up or retreating from the world. It means giving yourself the permission to stop, to breathe, and to reset. It's about allowing yourself the grace to experience life without the constant pressure to produce, perform, or prove something. When we embrace emptiness, we create room for clarity, understanding, and intuition. These are the tools that help us navigate life with ease and grace. This is a profound shift in mindset. It's moving away from a life of constant doing and into a life of being. This doesn't mean we stop working or being productive, but we approach everything with a sense of presence. We do things, but we do them mindfully, with intention, and without the need for everything to be perfect. Just like the seed, we grow in our own time. The path of inner transformation isn't about rushing to a destination, it's about learning to enjoy the journey. As we move forward, we must remember that change is a process. Sometimes it can feel like nothing is happening, but just as the seed quietly prepares itself before sprouting, our inner transformations are often happening out of sight. We are becoming ready for what's next. And in that moment of quiet anticipation, we must trust that all will unfold as it should. Now, I want to ask something of you. I know you've been reflecting on your own journey, on the moments in your life when you felt unsure, or when you realized that growth was happening quietly beneath the surface. This is the perfect time to share with me what's been on your mind. Share with me your own story, or maybe a moment when you learned to embrace the quiet or the stillness. I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. And while you're there, take a second to think about someone you know who could really benefit from this message. Someone who may be going through a busy, chaotic time. Maybe they need to hear that it's okay to pause, to trust the process, and to embrace the stillness that's already available to them. Don't forget to leave a comment and share this video with someone who might find it valuable. I really believe that when we support each other in our growth, we all become stronger. And if this message resonates with you, if you feel like you're being invited into a deeper space of transformation, then I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel. Just a gentle reminder, subscribing is like saying yes to your own transformation, allowing the messages that are meant for you to reach you just when you need them most. Let's dive deeper into the heart of transformation. One of the hardest things for us to do is to let go. We hold on to beliefs, habits, relationships, and even feelings that no longer serve us. Sometimes we hold on because we're afraid of what will happen if we let go. We fear the unknown, the void that will be left behind. But in reality, it's only by releasing what no longer serves us that we make space for something new, something better. Think about the seasons. As winter gives way to spring, the trees let go of their old leaves. They don't mourn their loss. Instead, they trust that new leaves will grow in their place. The trees don't cling to the past. They make room for new growth. In the same way, we must learn to let go of the old to create space for the new. But letting go is a process, and it's not always easy. There's a part of us that wants to control everything. We want to know how things will turn out, what the future holds, and how we can protect ourselves from pain. But the truth is, control is an illusion. Life has a way of unfolding in ways we could never predict, and sometimes what we think we need is not what we actually need. The key to transformation is learning to trust the process and surrender to the flow of life. Trusting the process doesn't mean that everything will always go according to plan. In fact, life is rarely predictable. We will encounter obstacles, setbacks, and challenges along the way. But these challenges are not roadblocks. They are opportunities for growth. Just as a storm helps the soil to become rich and fertile, life's difficulties prepare us for something greater. Each challenge we face gives us the chance to develop resilience, patience, and wisdom. The real transformation happens when we stop resisting change. Resistance keeps us stuck in the past, tied to old patterns and beliefs. When we resist, we are essentially saying that we don't trust life. We're trying to control the outcome instead of allowing things to unfold naturally. But life, in its infinite wisdom, has a way of showing us what we need when we least expect it. And sometimes the things we think we need are not the things that will bring us true happiness. Letting go requires vulnerability. It's about surrendering our need for control and embracing uncertainty. It's about having the courage to trust that the universe, life, or whatever you believe in has a plan for us. This doesn't mean we stop taking action or making decisions, but it means we release the need for everything to be perfect. We let go of the attachment to specific outcomes and trust that whatever happens will be for our highest good. One of the most difficult things to let go of is the idea of who we think we should be. We get so attached to our identities, our roles, our accomplishments, and the image we project to the world. But these identities are often just masks we wear. They are not who we truly are. The truth of who we are lies underneath these masks, in the quiet spaces where we are simply being, without the need to prove anything to anyone. When we release the need to live up to others' expectations or to fit into a particular mold, we begin to discover our true selves. We start to see that we don't have to be anyone other than who we are. This is a powerful realization. It's like peeling away the layers of an onion to reveal the core of who we really are, untouched by external forces. Letting go also means embracing imperfection. We live in a world that places so much emphasis on perfection, on getting things right, looking a certain way, or achieving success by specific standards. But perfection is not real. It's an illusion. True beauty and growth come from our imperfections, from the messy, unpredictable process of life. When we embrace imperfection, we give ourselves the freedom to fail, to make mistakes and to learn from them. And in doing so, we create the space for real transformation to occur. Embracing imperfection also allows us to let go of comparison. We live in a world where it's easy to compare ourselves to others. We see their success, their achievements, and we measure ourselves against them. But comparison is a trap. It keeps us focused on what we don't have rather than what we do. It prevents us from appreciating our own unique journey and the gifts that we bring to the world. When we let go of comparison, we free ourselves from the pressure to be someone we're not. We can simply be ourselves in all our messy, imperfect glory. The key to transformation lies in our willingness to let go of what no longer serves us. This process isn't always easy, but it's necessary for growth. Just like the trees shedding their leaves, we must release the old so that we can grow into something new. Every time we let go, we make space for something better to come into our lives. And the more we practice letting go, the easier it becomes to trust the process. Now, I want to invite you to reflect on this. Think about something in your life that you've been holding on to, whether it's a belief, a fear, a relationship, or an expectation. What would happen if you let go of it? What space could you create in your life for something new to emerge? Take a moment to think about it. If you feel comfortable, I'd love for you to share your thoughts in the comments below. What are you ready to let go of? What is holding you back from fully trusting the process? I believe that by sharing our experiences, we can create a supportive community of people who are all on the journey of transformation together. As we approach the final stages of our journey, there's an essential truth that we must embrace. Transformation takes time. In a world that often prioritizes instant gratification, it's easy to forget that true growth is a slow, steady process. It's not something that can be rushed or forced. The deeper the change, the more time and patience it requires. But it's in the patience and persistence that we cultivate real strength. Imagine planting a seed. When we plant it, we don't expect it to bloom the next day. We water it, we nurture it, and we trust that it will grow in its own time. The same principle applies to our personal growth. We plant the seeds of change with our intentions, but we cannot force the process. Transformation is not something that can be hurried. It's something that unfolds naturally when we give it the space and time it needs. In the midst of our transformation, there will be moments when we feel frustrated. We might wonder why the change isn't happening faster, or why things seem to be moving so slowly. This is normal. Growth often feels uncomfortable because it pushes us out of our comfort zones. But this discomfort is a sign that something is happening beneath the surface, even if we can't see it yet. It's during these moments that persistence becomes crucial. When we feel like giving up, it's the persistence to keep going that will ultimately carry us forward. Remember, the journey of transformation is not a straight line. There will be ups and downs, twists and turns. Some days will feel easier than others, and some days you might question if the effort is even worth it. But it is during these challenging times that your persistence will be your greatest ally. It's the small, consistent actions you take each day that build up over time to create lasting change. Even when you don't see immediate results, trust that what you are doing is making a difference. Keep watering the seeds you've planted, even if they seem dormant at times. They are growing in ways you can't yet see. Another important aspect of patience is learning to trust the timing of your transformation. Often we want things to happen on our own schedule, but life doesn't work that way. There is a natural rhythm to growth, and sometimes that rhythm requires us to pause, reflect, and wait for the right moment to move forward. Trusting the timing of your journey means acknowledging that there is a bigger picture at play, one that may not always be immediately clear. Trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. As we reflect on patience and persistence, it's essential to recognize that transformation is not about perfection, it's about progress. Every small step you take, no matter how insignificant it may seem, is a step toward becoming the person you are meant to be. Each challenge you overcome, each fear you face, and each lesson you learn is a victory in itself. Transformation is about embracing these moments, no matter how small, and celebrating them as part of your journey. There will be days when it feels like you're not making any progress, but I assure you that you are. Just like the seed that pushes its way through the soil, even when it seems like nothing is happening, your efforts are making an impact. Sometimes the most significant changes are the ones that take time to surface. So be kind to yourself and give yourself credit for every step you take, no matter how small. Patience also involves learning to enjoy the process rather than focusing solely on the destination. Transformation isn't a one-time event. It's a lifelong journey of growth, learning, and evolving. The more we can enjoy the ride, the more we can appreciate the beauty of the present moment, the more fulfilling our journey becomes. Instead of waiting for the day when everything will be perfect, learn to savor the small victories along the way. The joy is in the journey itself. As we close this chapter, remember that transformation is a process. It's a journey that requires time, patience, and persistence. It's not about rushing or forcing change, but about embracing the process, trusting that everything is happening as it should, and celebrating the progress you make along the way. Trust in yourself, trust in the process, and most importantly, trust that every step you take is leading you closer to the person you are meant to become. Now, as we wrap up, I want to thank you for joining me on this transformative journey. I hope you found inspiration and insight to take with you on your own path. Remember, change takes time, and the most important thing is to be patient with yourself. If you've enjoyed this exploration of transformation, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What part of the journey resonates most with you? What changes are you currently making in your life? Feel free to share your experience in the comments below. Let's continue this conversation and support each other in our growth. And before you go, I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel, not because it's something I want from you, but because I truly believe that we can grow together. You are not alone in this journey. By subscribing, you're joining a community of people who are committed to growth, transformation, and living their best lives. We're in this together, and I look forward to continuing this journey with you. Thank you again for being here. Take care, and remember, the best is yet to come.